If you're looking for an easy, healthy dinner you can make super fast, look no further. An egg roll in a bowl has all the flavors of Chinese takeout egg rolls without all the carbs and deep frying. Hi everyone, it's Maya from WholesomeYum.com, and I make easy, healthy recipes with 10 ingredients or less. So today I'm showing you how to make an egg roll in a bowl. This dish features flavorful ground pork or beef, tender cabbage, and the perfect combination of Asian flavors. It's also a super easy one-pan meal. It's naturally healthy, low carb, and keto friendly. I have a little shortcut I'll show you so that it only takes 15 minutes. It's perfect for those weeknights when you didn't plan ahead. That's why I've been making this for years. It's kind of my go-to when I didn't plan and I don't know what I'm having for dinner. I'm going to show you how easy this is, and it uses really common ingredients that you might even have right now. Let's do this. We'll start by mincing 4 cloves of garlic. You can use jarred garlic to save time here if you like, but when I have time, I do like to mince it fresh. If you've seen my videos, you've probably seen me do this. Smash the garlic clove with the side of your knife, and then the skin just comes right off. If you're going to substitute jarred garlic, that will be about 2 teaspoons. Slice those thinly first, and then mince using a rocking motion. Go ahead and set that aside, and we'll need some grated ginger next. You'll need 3 tablespoons of fresh ginger, and I'll show you a couple ways that you can peel this and then grate it. So start by cutting off any knobby, small pieces from the sides here. Mine only has 1 of those. And then there are a couple ways that you can peel this. So one of the ways is with a spoon, but that only works with ginger that is a little bit younger. This is fairly mature, so it might not work that well, but I'll show you the general idea. It's just gonna be a little bit more difficult with this one. Basically, you just get the spoon in there and then scrape it, scrape the skin off. You can see it's not working that well with this one because it is kind of too thick at this point. So I actually prefer to just use a vegetable peeler in this case, much easier. I actually learned to peel and grate ginger specifically for this recipe when I first made it back in, I think, 2016 or 2017. I decided that my egg roll in a bowl has to have fresh ginger, and I hadn't really cooked with it that much before. So I did some research and figured out some of the ways to peel it and grate it. Still not that great at it, but you know what, it tastes delicious, so that's all that matters, right? You can cut off some of these harder pieces on the sides too. It can be a little bit more difficult to peel. If you're really in a huge hurry and don't want to deal with peeling and grating ginger, you can use ground ginger in this recipe, but I think fresh tastes so much better. And to save some time, another trick I found is you can actually peel this ahead of time and stick it in the freezer and then just grate it whenever you need it, or even freeze grated ginger. Now I have this all peeled, so I'm going to go ahead and grate this. I have just a regular grater here. It's not a microplane or anything like that. I actually tried this with a microplane, and I found that the pieces are too small and it kind of gets stuck in there more easily. So I prefer to use this one. Make sure that you're grating perpendicular to the fibers of the ginger. So they're kind of, you can kind of see they're running this way. So I'm grating the opposite direction versus this way. Let's see if this is enough. I need 3 tablespoons, so I just grabbed a measuring spoon here and just pack that in there lightly. Looks like we need a little more. I feel like this is good for getting your anger out if you're angry at something. There we go, 3 tablespoons. Next, you'll need a 1/4 cup of green onions. That's usually about 2 or 3, but I like to have a little extra for garnish, so I'm actually going to double that. And you can use a knife, but I like to use these shears. You might have seen this in some of my other videos. It just makes perfect slices, whereas a knife sometimes leaves some pieces stuck together, or it breaks open kind of like the circles of the green onions. And I like them looking nice. Cut off the ones that don't look the greatest first. Once you have the ends trimmed, you can just kind of gather them together and cut all at once. I like to cut on the diagonal if possible, but any way will do. You can include the white parts if you like, but I prefer just the green parts for this recipe, so I'll set these aside for another use. So now you can set the green onions aside, and we're ready to cook our egg roll in a bowl. So grab a large skillet and add some avocado oil. The official amount in this recipe is about 1 tablespoon, but I usually just eyeball it. A little more is never a bad thing. Heat that up over medium-high heat until it's shimmering nice and hot. You'll be able to tell this is hot enough because when you tilt the pan, the oil will just move around effortlessly and it'll shimmer. So once that happens, we're going to add the garlic and the ginger. If you're substituting ground ginger instead of the fresh, you'll add this later, not at this step. You'd want to add it towards the end in that case. And saute this for about a minute, just until fragrant. Okay, now working quickly before this burns, go ahead and add the ground pork. And just break that apart with your spoon or spatula. As you're doing this, try to stir so that you don't have all the garlic and ginger on the bottom so that it doesn't burn. And once this is mostly broken up, you'll season it with salt and pepper. So I have a teaspoon of salt here and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And keep mixing that. We'll cook this for about 7 to 10 minutes, just until it's browned. But the time can vary a lot depending on what pan you use, how hot your heat is, things like that. So this pretty much looks cooked through, but I actually like to keep this going for a little bit longer to get the meat a little bit more browned. It's up to you if you want to do that or not, but that also helps cook away the extra fat and liquid here. If you'd rather just stop at this point, you can drain it here instead. I'm going to keep cooking and get this nice and browned. So this is about how browned I like it, so I'm going to reduce the heat to medium and add 6 cups of coleslaw mix. So this is my shortcut for this dish. You can shred cabbage and carrots yourself, so much work. I skip all that and I just get the big coleslaw mix. I think it's really convenient. Depending on the size of your pan, you might have trouble fitting all of this in there, but it will cook down, so just do the best you can. Worst case, if it doesn't all fit right away, you can add it in batches, and once some of it cooks down, then you can add the rest. I think I am going to attempt it and hope this doesn't all overflow. And the other thing I'm going to add at this step is a 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. This is a soy sauce substitute because I don't like to eat soy, but if you can do soy, no problem. You can use low sodium soy sauce here instead. And at this stage, I recommend using tongs rather than a wooden spatula that I just grabbed, because this is pretty full and it can overflow fairly easily, but tongs are perfect for this. And you can play around with the ratio of meat to cabbage as well. I did 6 cups of the cabbage and this was 1 pound of meat, but you can add even more cabbage in a larger pan if you like, or use more meat. It's pretty flexible. You can see the cabbage is starting to cook down, so the pan isn't quite as full as it was before. Just keep turning that so that whatever's at the top goes to the bottom and gets a chance to cook. Overall, this cooks pretty quickly. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes after you add the cabbage. You'll know it's done when the cabbage is wilted, and the time will vary a little bit depending on your pan, but also depending on how tender you like your cabbage. Some people like it really wilted and caramelized. Some people like a little crunch, so you choose what you like best. I'd say this is about how I want it, so I am going to turn off the heat. And now I'll add 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. Sesame oil, especially the toasted kind, is not heat safe, so that's why we don't actually saute with it. We just add it at the end, but it adds so much flavor to this egg roll in the bowl. I recommend including it if you can find it. It's available at most grocery stores, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Easy peasy, 15 minutes. I'm gonna add some garnishes here, so this is optional, but I'm adding some sesame seeds. And I only had regular ones today, but toasted ones taste even better. So if you can get those or have time to toast them yourself, then that will be fantastic. Feel free to skip them all together or just use regular ones like I am. Still delicious. And green onions. You can leave these as a topping or you can stir them in. Really, both ways are great. Okay, I'm ready to plate this. This was, I think, the fastest video I've ever made because this dish is just so quick and easy. And I'm serving this plain here because I think just the cabbage and meat is plenty filling, but if you like, you can also serve this over cauliflower rice, or if it fits your lifestyle, regular rice as well. Totally up to you. And I like to add a little fresh sprinkle of the sesame seeds and green onions just to make this look pretty for serving. Time for a taste test, but I have to be honest, I am terrible at using chopsticks, so I'm gonna do my best here. Don't judge, okay? Here we go. I know you're not supposed to cross them. If you're as bad at this as me, feel free to just use a fork. Nobody's gonna know. So good. Even if I can't do the chopsticks, I'll grab a fork if I have to. You've got a little sweetness, you've got umami, you've got the garlic and ginger. It's hard to believe this took only 15 minutes. Let me know what you think if you try this. And if you like this combination of cabbage and ground meat, you are going to love this beef cabbage soup. It is so easy.